I used to think the reason I wasn't doing more video was the gear. I didn't have the right camera, the lighting wasn't right, the background was a mess, my microphone wasn't good enough. I needed to clean up the room first. I needed to figure out the software first. I needed to be ready. There's always something, isn't it? I've had to close I've had close to 500 conversations on this podcast, climbing up to 800. A lot of them were with people who work in media, PR pros, live streamers, video coaches, broadcast veterans, and across all of those conversations, the same thing kept coming up. The barrier to showing up on camera was almost never the equipment. It was the idea that you needed to be ready when you were ready. My really good friend Sri went live on Instagram for the first time in 2019. No equipment, no coach. 9 rejections before she got her first guest. She just kept going. After 100 live streams, she realized what she was actually doing, helping people who were afraid of the camera find the courage to show up. The camera wasn't the output, the courage was the output. She said something that stuck with me. Stop getting stuck on perfect and start looking at progress. That's not a content strategy. That's a philosophy. Susan Harrow has trained people on for Oprah, 60 Minutes, and The Today Show. She's been doing this for decades and she still gets nervous before every interview. She said, it's not that the nerves go away, it's about channeling that energy. And here's what that means in practice: plan, prepare, and practice. So you're free to be spontaneous. That word is so fun. Now, you don't get comfortable on camera by waiting until you feel comfortable. You get comfortable by doing it 100 times until the discomfort stops running the show. My good friend Kevin Colby spent years in radio and broadcast TV. The world where a 30-second spot took an entire day to produce. When he moved into digital content, the thing that stuck with him the most was how many creators got the priority order completely backwards. They spent money on cameras, they ignored their microphones, and he said it plainly. The most important part of video is actually the audio. Nobody stops watching a video because the camera is slightly soft. They stop watching because the audio hurts their ears. And if you're going to invest in one thing, it's the sound. On Podcast Morning Show earlier today, Jody Krangle was on, and she said, audio is the number one thing that you should be paying attention to because you get so much closer to the audience. Audio and audience. How about that? And I've said this on the podcast, and I say it on every studio consultation. The microphone comes first. Dr. Izdihar Jamil got featured in Forbes. After that, she said her business just blew up. Not because Forbes made her better at what she did, because third-party credibility does something that self-promotion never can. It moves the conversation. It moves the trust conversation outside of you. When you say you're the expert, people are skeptical. But when Forbes says it, or a podcast says it, or a PR feature says it, That's someone else vouching for you. Now, that's a different category of believable. Andrea Paz has been doing PR for a long time. She made it simple. If you're not staying in the public eye, interviews, podcasts, media features, well, guess what? Then you're nowhere. Not to build an ego, but to build a signal, a consistent, compounding signal that says, this person is real, this person shows up, this person is worth paying attention to. My good friend Dan Schinder and two-time guester built Drum Talk TV into the largest online drumming media company in its very first year. And he outgrew every competitor by 900% in reach and engagement. He never paid for a single ad because his entire model was organic content and genuine community engagement. He showed up, he created, he connected, and the audience found him. He said, when people think there's no reason to improve, when they lose that hunger, I think they're done. Because we always have to be learning. I'm learning all over again how to do live streams with these videos. And that's what 900% growth on zero ad spends looks like from the inside. It's not a hack. It's not a funnel. It's a posture. My good friend Kirk Nugent said something I come back to a lot. He said being consistent is like making a verbal contract with your audience. You're not just publishing content, you're making a promise. And every time you show up, you reinforce the promise. Every time you go quiet for 6 weeks and then reappear with an apology video, you're asking your audience to absorb the cost of inconsistency. See, the contract is simple. I'll be here. The question is, will you? Now, the audience will hold up their end if you hold up yours. Now, the audience will hold up their end if you hold up yours. My good friend Keith Pelzer, a Grammy award-winning producer, third-generation pastor, an Ecamm Live expert, said something about community that I think applies to all of it. He said, if you've got a camera and you've got audio and you're in the community, you are loved. You're welcome, you're considered, and you are respected. The camera here is the entry point, but what you're actually joining is a conversation that was already happening between creators, between audiences, between the people who decided to stop hiding and start showing up. Now, most people don't have a content problem, they have a courage problem. Dressed up is a logistics problem. The camera is ready. The microphone works and the background is fine. The question is whether you're going to sit down, hit record, and say something. Not perfect, just present. And that's the whole thing, right? If you're building a home studio setup and you want a system, not just gear recommendations, that's what Home Studio Mastery is. Camera placement, lighting, audio, background, decisions you make once and then stop thinking about so you can focus on the conversation. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. What do you guys think? Was that pretty cool? I'm just recording my short educational type videos here on this live stream, and then I'll cut it up later on and post it on all the different places. But I wanted to get a dialogue going as well. I want to experiment. I want to experiment something that a lot of other people have been experimenting for the past 8 years, for the past 4 years, whatever that is. I haven't done enough of it. So now it's my time to come back out here. Now I've got a pretty cool system. I've got a bunch of scripts here that I have been recording, and the next step is to actually publish them online. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me over here. I'm gonna stop this live and then go live again on some vertical platforms as well. All right, I'll see you in the next one.